Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Kasundra Bradford, and you are watching Business First for Dr. Kasundra Bradford. That is me. And thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast today. Um, Man, I have been running all day. I had a couple of meetings with the city of Dallas. So, you small business owners, man, I got so much information for you guys. Um, maybe out of breath, but guess what? I'm not tired. Why? Because I am a small business owner. So, how are you guys doing today? So, while I'm waiting for my guests to log on, we're going to chit chat. We always want to drop nuggets on the show. If you are a small business owner, I just want to let you know that this is the time for you guys to start your own business. And if you're already in business, and let me just talk about Texas because I'm headquartered here in Texas, but it's applicable in every state. If you are a small business owner and you have been in business for at least a year, certain states is 2 years, certain cities is 2 years. But if you've been in business, do you know there are grants out there for you if you can generate tax revenue? Right? Are you paying taxes? Are you paying employee tax? Well, there are some tax incentives for small business owners. So if that's you, you may want to contact me. There are so many opportunities out there for your small business, and it's not because of COVID, not because of systemic racism, but we're gonna say thank you for all of that, right? So the Bible says, in all things we are to be thankful, right? And because if you're watching this podcast, that means that you are alive to tell the story. So we need to say thank you. But you small business owners, there are so many opportunities out there for you to grow your business. There's money, there's incentives, there's so many programs, loan programs out there for small businesses, especially if you're a legal business and you're generating tax revenue. You want to make sure that you are in contact with me. You may want to go through my mentoring program. These are shameless plugs, but I'm not shameful. I'm a small business owner. I am in business to make money. So if you are looking for grants for your business, if you're looking for incentive programs from your city, if you are a beautician and you have a brick and mortar, there are exterior beautification programs out there for you. So there are so many opportunities out there for small businesses. So don't tell me that 2020 is a horrible year when I had just left a meeting with some city officials that are looking to give money. They're trying to give money away before the end of the year. They're like, we got all this money and we don't know who to give it to. I had everyone pointing at me and everything. So listen, you guys may want to get in touch with me. You can always call my office, which is 1-800-718-2425. You can go to my website, www.genesispreferred.com, or iamdrcass.com. There are so many ways, or you can inbox me. How about that? So
Hey, Dr. K.
my special guest here. Her name is Dr. K. Brown, Kasundra Brown. See, I like that name, Kasundra. She's looking beautiful. Got on her shirt, trust God, right? Didn't I just
It says trust God and chill.
trust? There you go. I love. I can't see the bottom part, but it is so applicable to what I just said. Trust God and chill. I am so tired of people saying that 2020 is a horrible year. The year is not over with. How are we gonna count God out? So y'all,
This has been a fantastic year for me.
God can't move in the next few days, so he needs a whole year to move. I don't know what kind of God y'all serving, but that ain't the God I serve. And so I believe that we still got time, right? As long as we got time for God to move. If we got a millisecond, don't have me preaching now. I got Dr. K here.
Look, you got me here. You got me
like
here.
old people say.
Look, you got me here. 2020 has been a fantastic year for me. This has been the year of the pivot.
Yes.
So the things that you could not get done before now, this was the year, that project, that dream, that thing that God put in your heart a long time ago and you didn't know how it was going to materialize. This was the year to get that done. This
Yes.
was the year that God laid everything else aside and he said, look, go for the gold. Go for the gold. And that's what this year has been for me. I have been laying seeds. I've always wanted to speak professionally. So that is the business that I started this year. And I've been laying the foundation so that when 2021 opens up, it is going to be an explosive start to a fantastic new career.
See, she wrote the vision, she made it plain. So now she's running with it. And even while she's running with it, she don't have to look at a piece of paper to read it. She already knows it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Am I speaking Bible now, Dr. K?
You speaking, look, that's the word. I have my whole speaking platform. I am Cassandra Dr. K. Brown, the Tilted Fedora Trainer. And I don't have my fedora with me today. I literally just walked out of the barbershop. I double booked. And I do apologize for my appearance. So please forgive me. But when my calendar popped up and I went, ooh, let me get on right now. And we had a little confusion with the link, but I'm here. I am the Tilted Fedora Trainer, and my motto is I provide practical application of biblical truth or universal truth. When you go to my website, that's the first thing you see, practical application of universal truth. So that write the vision, make it plain, it's right out of the Bible, and every business planner you speak to or every business coach, first thing they do is tell you write it down. Write down what you want it to be, write down your vision, because that gives you a goal that you can see. And I'm learning really that the secret to manifesting is to see it in your mind. And that's what a vision is.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you see. It is the invisible that you see in your mind.
Now,
And when
Dr.
you
K,
see it in your
Dr.
mind,
K.
you can hold it in your hand.
Now let me add to that. Let me add to that. Now, when God gives you a vision, I know. So when God gives you a vision, answer this question. And I know it's rhetorical, but I know I just need you to answer because I already know you know the answer. But when God gives a vision, um, normally, Dr. K, is anybody when God gave you a vision? Let me just talk there. Was anybody else present?
No.
Okay. And
Well,
when He gave,
actually, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. I've had two visions, and one other people were present. I was actually in a church service, and God and I had a conversation. It's when I accepted my call to the ministry.
mm-hmm,
And God gave me a vision of what my life would be like if I did not accept the call, because He gave me the option. You can accept, and here's the deal, you can accept the vision that God gives you, or you can walk away from it. But if you walk away from it, you will have the most miserable life
but when He
because
gave
you
you
will
the
not be
vision,
doing what you were created to do. The
but
second vision, I was alone.
you were by yourself. And when you were by yourself, when He gave you the vision, He give it all to you, or did He give it to you in part?
Parts.
Right, because I know if He would have gave me my whole vision, I still would be saying you got the wrong
You
somebody.
got the wrong one, baby.
Because
You
you
got the
know I ain't that
wrong
smart. I'm
baby.
only smart on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And them other days, I don't know. And I'm going to tell you something. When God gives a vision, He also gives it to us in color.
Mm-hmm.
He gave it to me in
Yes,
color.
it's in living color.
It was in living
And it's
color.
because, and it's in living color because it is our lives. We live in color. It is
Mhm.
our lives that the vision is our life. It's His vision for our lives. And it's also His provision for our lives. So I tell people a lot of times when God gives a vision, He will give you the initial strategy. He won't give you all of the pieces, but He will typically give you the next step
Right, at the appointed time.
at the appointed
At the
time.
appointed
So as
time.
long as
So,
you handle each step as He gives them to you, you got it made.
but Dr. K, a lot of people that come into my office or call me, they don't know their vision. They don't know their purpose. And isn't it,
Mm,
and we take being able to hear from God and
hmm.
having seers in our lives, or seers that we can call, or prophets we can call and say, hey, I don't understand what I'm doing. I'm gonna cry
Hmm.
and snot, and somebody need to pray and get a prayer through. Go beyond the veil. Can somebody get in the inner court and the
Somebody
outer court?
please get in. There you go. Somebody please get into the Holy of Holies. Get
Get
into
into the
God's
holy
presence.
of holies, right? And but I hear so many people say, I don't know my purpose. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's amazing that I believe that 2020 was a chance for us to be still.
Hmm.
So for those that have said, I don't know my purpose, God has been speaking. God is, you know what?
God is
God is
never
a chatty
silent.
Cathy. God
God is
don't
never
never stop
silent.
talking.
Jesus said, my Father is always talking.
Always
The
talk.
question is,
Always.
are we always listening? To that person though who's saying, I really don't know my purpose, Warren Buffett said something that got my undivided attention. And it speaks to a person's purpose. What he said is what you were passionate about as a teenager typically turns out to be the right career. So I would say to that person, go back to your teenage years and remember what you were passionate about. And that would be the ticket. When I was a teenager, I was passionate about words. I was passionate about speaking. I was passionate about being in front of people. And that's so speaking has been in me since I was a kid, literally. And now I'm moving into that as my purpose. My purpose is to talk. My purpose is to teach. My purpose is to teach the Bible in particular and how people can practically apply the truths that were written over 2,000 years ago to today. Because today is when those truths are really necessary and needed. So to that person, go back to your teenage years and think about what excited you, what thrilled you, what as a teenager, when somebody mentioned it, your ears perked up and you got into conversation. I have a son who's a pilot. He has been passionate about airplanes since he was 10 years old.
That's
And
true.
following that passion and that gifting. And that would be the other thing I tell them to do is the Bible says your gift will make room for you. What are your gifts?
So I'm gonna tell you, and I love that because I went back to my 6-year-old self and realized how much I love cake, which is why you guys always know I'm talking about. Y'all know cake
You
causes
talk
world
about
peace.
cake.
Girl, I was running. I had a business breakfast meeting. I ordered my muffin and they didn't bring it. That's cake. I was
Ooh,
like,
that's cake.
man, I ain't got my superpower,
Look,
but that's
a
all
good
right.
piece of
Now,
cake can solve a whole lot of issues.
so Dr. K, so I know you wrote a book. I'm so
Yes, ma'am.
proud of you. I wasn't in town
Thank
when you
you.
had your book signing, but that's okay. I know you'll be doing another one.
I
So,
will. I will.
so
It went really well.
tell everybody about your book. I want to know more about this book.
I am so excited to introduce to you and to present to others Moving Beyond Betrayal, Help Getting Past What You May Never Get Over.
Mm,
And this is a workbook that will take the reader through 4 specific steps, clearly delineated, that will move them from the pain of the prisoner, the pain that imprisons them in that act of betrayal into deliverance so that they can begin to live the abundant life that Jesus died to purchase for them.
mm,
And it is designed to deal with any betrayal. It's taken from the life of Leah, recorded in, I think it's Genesis 29. We
mm-hmm,
first meet Leah as
mm-hmm,
the unloved wife of Jacob, the
mm-hmm,
patriarch of Israel. She is the mother of 8 of his 12 sons.
mm-hmm.
And when you look at her life, it is chronicled in the names of her children. So her first son's name is I am miserable and unloved.
Wow.
Second son's name, and I usually have my list in front of me, miserable, unloved, unattached. And then with the fourth son, everybody knows Judah, and Judah's name means praise, but it doesn't just mean praise. It means this time I will praise.
Mm-hmm,
So her life starts with a betrayal in that her father tells her to go and sleep with her sister's husband on the wedding night.
mm-hmm,
That's why the book is Moving Beyond Betrayal, because when we first see her, the first thing that characterizes her life is betrayal.
mm-hmm,
And now she's stuck in a marriage with a man who doesn't love her.
mm-hmm.
And she declares, I'm unheard, I'm unseen, I'm miserable, I'm unloved, I'm unattached. But she gets to baby number 4. And she says, this time I will praise. I will bring a different response to the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
And that changes everything. From there, she moves to I'm happy, I'm fortunate, I'm rewarded, I'm respected. And her last baby is a girl named I'm vindicated.
Wow. I didn't know this.
So
This is a Bible study repurposed.
that's the whole pattern of her life. So I'm writing 4 books based on her life. And the
Wow.
first book is Moving Beyond Betrayal. How do we deal with that event in our lives that we may never get over? We're in the age of the Me Too movement.
Mm-hmm.
We're now finding out how many people have been molested in their families, molested, accosted by people they trusted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just those, it's people going through divorces where you expected to be married for a lifetime. And now the marriage is ending and you're having to deal with all of these negative emotions. This book helps you work through all of that. So you go from taking care of yourself, dealing with forgiveness, to actually having the conversation with the one who betrayed you, whether they are present or not. Because a lot of people think, well, in order to deal with this, I got to go back and talk to them. No, you don't. You do have to talk, but you don't have to talk to them. And we explain how to express those emotions, identify those emotions, and process them so that you can move through this whole thing. The reason it's named Help Getting Past What You May Never Get Over is that there are some things you can get over, meaning that you can literally forget that it happened. You know, I can get over a bad meal. I can forget that you fed me a bad meal and I can come back to your house and eat again. But there are some things that have so heavily impacted my life
Mm-hmm.
that you can't look at me and say, just get over it. Just act like it didn't happen, because that's what get over means.
No,
Act
no,
like it didn't.
uh-uh.
No,
No,
you
because
can't get over
the
stuff.
word says that God will put it in a sea called forgetfulness. I can't
Yeah,
find
we
anywhere
don't.
on my globe or map a sea
With
with the name forgetfulness. So there are
forgetfulness, there
things that
you
we
go.
are supposed to remember. Now we're
Yes,
supposed to forgive, but God said if you give it to Him, He'll put it in a sea of forgetfulness.
yes. And that's it. That's the key. Is a lot of people say forgive and forget, and I tell them no.
No.
Your mind is not designed to forget. We
Mm-mm.
have the in our minds. We have the most phenomenal supercomputer ever designed or built,
Mm-hmm.
and our minds are designed to remember.
Mm-hmm.
God made us to remember. If I and the reason I know that is in the Bible, He says remember over and over again. Remember. So we're designed to remember, but we're not designed to stay in that place. As
Yeah.
we use those memories as launching pads, as places that we grow from and
Yes.
events that we grow through. So we're not to be trapped in that prison, even though we remember those events.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the book is about, is getting people out of that prison of pain and moving them into that abundant life, that promised land that Jesus purchased for us.
Girl, this is good. Girl, you got me want to study Leah. Now is that now the whole now is what you just said, is that in this book? I need to get my
Yeah.
copy, y'all. I don't even have my copy.
It is in the first part of her story is in the book. I do talk about the names and how the
Wow.
children come. There are, if you go to my YouTube page, I've got a couple of messages that deal with Leah's life.
I need to get the book. Y'all
You
need to
can
get
get
the
the book.
book.
Here is you can get the book in one of two places. You can go to YouTube, not YouTube, I'm sorry, Amazon. You can go to Amazon, and I'm so excited now because you can actually type in Moving Beyond Betrayal by Kasundra Brown and it pops up. I'm like, y'all don't know what that day was like for me, because I tried to find it and it was on like the 10th page. So I'm scrolling. But then when
So
it's
we
gotten enough
just can't put in
traction
your
now,
name.
you can put in my name and it'll pop up.
It's just yeah, we're gonna pop it up.
But you
You
have to
guys,
spell my name differently than yours. My name is Kasundra.
mm-hmm.
So you have to spell it correctly. If you put in Moving Beyond Betrayal, Kasundra Brown, it will pop up. But you can also go to my website, which is www.thetiltedfedoratrainer.net. Okay? www.thetiltedfedoratrainer.net. Or you can just Google Kasundra Brown and my website will pop up.
Moving beyond betrayal. You
Yep,
guys,
help
you have
getting past what you may never get over.
getting past what you may never. And I love it because I just learned something today. But I think we've all had some form of betrayal, whether it was in
Yep.
our personal life, whether it was in the church, whether it was at work, on
Mm-hmm.
the job, by the kids, the dog. The dog
Yes.
betrayed me. I know I got look. Don't get me started.
Look, if your dog ever bit you, you've been betrayed by your dog, because he shouldn't have been biting the hand that feeds him. I had the wonderful opportunity of doing a book review with Joy and Company, and one of the ladies said as she read the book, she remembered a childhood betrayal, and she used that betrayal to work through. So there may be some stuff as you read through the book, and it's a workbook. So I ask you from the very beginning, to remember a betrayal, see what God allows to pop up in your mind. She said, I realized reading the book, I had never worked through that. And it had impacted her all her life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you need to work beyond, you need to get beyond betrayals, because they will impact you in some area of your life and stunt your growth literally in that particular area.
I'm gonna tell you,
You-
Cassandra, you need to get this book into Job Corps. I don't know if that's been one of your attempts, but because it has faith-based overtones, it
Mhm,
definitely needs to be in Job Corps, because we have so many of our young men and women who are going through life and not understanding why they can't get to point B because of some
mhm,
things that have happened in their lives. And a lot of people that have go through Job Corps, it's because it was a couple of things that have happened in the home, and then
mhm.
in school, and then in life, which is why a lot of them end up going through Job Corps and not the military. Okay, so I
Dr.
believe that.
Cass, that is a wonderful recommendation. And when we get off this call, you and I can talk about how to make that happen.
So yeah, just Google, talk to the reps over there, tell them about your book and how it would help some people transition, and they'll set up an interview with you,
Okay.
right? And a lot of
Mhm.
times either they'll buy it in bulk or they'll buy a course from you. They'll have you come in and teach you. I know it's COVID. We don't know what's getting ready to happen in 2021, but God knows. And there's
Mhm.
just some doors open. All you doing is talking.
Mhm.
So, oh
I
my,
will take care. That will be my first obligation next week. Or actually, when I get back to the house, I won't even
man,
hold off on it.
we are out of time. This went too fast. We were
Well,
just getting into the meat
you
of
are
the book.
always look. You're always welcome to invite me back.
I'm gonna invite you back because I wanted. This is good. This is good because you know everybody talks about Rachel, but we always
Hmm.
forget about Leah and the struggles. And we're not, as women, we don't
Yeah.
care about her struggles.
Mhm.
And some of those struggles that you're teaching us are showing up evident in our own lives.
Yeah. And more,
Complex.
and matter of factly, we actually, there are more of us who have the Leah experience than the Rachel experience. I don't know any woman who had a man come and work 7 years so that he could marry her.
Girl, we can't even
And
get
then
some of
work
them in the
and
work
then work
period.
7 more years. Wait a minute. He worked the first 7 years, got cheated, ended up with Leah. Now, how many of us know we married the wrong man? But God was good and worked that marriage out
We
anyway.
sure
At the
did.
beginning of the marriage, it was sour, it was messed up, it was jacked up. But at the end, we end up saying, hey, you know what? God did it. He changed me, he changed him, and now we're happily married. But those first years, divorce wasn't allowed, and murder was definitely supposed to not be an option, but I was thinking about it. So a lot of us have a Leah experience when everybody is promoting Rachel.
Yes.
And I don't know anybody who's had a man work 14 years so he could be married to him.
We can't get a man to work 6 months to get us nowadays. We just take him when we
Thank you.
can scrape off the side of the road like gum. I'm sorry.
Did you say that out loud?
Listen, Dr. K, we have run out of time. Man, I'm going to have you back. I'm going to have my assistant call you back, and I'm going to get you onto our show, and I think in February. If you don't
Okay.
mind, please, please, please. And
I would love
we
to.
need to hear more about this Leah experience. But y'all need to go to Amazon and get Moving Beyond the Betrayal. Look up Kasundra Brown, the Tilted Fedora trainer. Y'all need
Yep,
to
you
spend
Google that, I pop up.
yes, and get this book. You know, this would be a great Christmas gift. You don't know what to get somebody. You know they've been going through. They've been betrayed. That's probably
Yep,
it. And this would be a great book. Now they can work through their issues. This is Christmas time. So, a lot
yep.
of people who are single or going through a divorce, this is high
Mm-hmm.
suicide time. This is high
Yeah,
domestic violence time. You guys know I
yeah.
stand against domestic violence. I am a domestic violence survivor myself.
Mm,
And I believe if we know someone who was going through this Leah experience that Dr. K has spoken about, I think this book will be a great Christmas present. A lot of times we don't want to get involved, we don't want to say something because sometimes it's our brother who did it or our cousin them. But
mm,
I think this will be a great time without you saying anything and getting involved. But I think you can just at least buy the book and
yeah,
give it as a gift.
yeah.
That's your
That
doing.
would be. You would be, and you would literally, if the person reads it, I we buy so many books that we don't actually read. This is one. It's not a thick book. It is a deep book, but it's not a thick book. So you're not going to see it and go, oh my God, that's too many pages. That's too many words. No, it's about 80 pages of
Y'all can do 80
information
pages.
and questions and plenty of space to write and take notes so that when you're done with it, you have literally journaled your way through this four-step journey or this
Man.
four movement journey. But what you will be giving them, the secret of the ages is hidden in books. You will be giving them a key to freedom. You will be
Yeah.
giving them keys to unlock their prison cell of pain due to betrayal. And what better gift can you give somebody than freedom?
Yeah, girl, you just said a mouthful. Listen, you guys, we are out of
Better
time. I
preach
am
one.
Dr. Cassandra Bradford. I have been interviewing Dr. Cassandra Brown, and you need to get her book, Moving Beyond the Betrayal. I have mentioned how you can get her book. I am out of time, but we are going to have her back on the show in February. So if you guys miss it, this broadcast will be on YouTube by tomorrow, so you can catch the replay and keep playing it. If you can't remember how to spell her name, it's written right there on Zoom, and she spells it out for you. So I am out of time. I am Dr. Cassandra Bradford. This has been Business First, and I'll see you guys at the top.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.